We're back with Robin Campaniano, President and Chief Executive Officer of AIG Hawaii Insurance Company.
What kind of advice would you give other lawyers out there that maybe want to switch over into the corporate world?
You know, it's really funny. I know some of your guests have been prior reformed attorneys, as we call them, and every time I look at some of my colleagues, there's Faye Curran, who runs Hawaii Dental Service, and Mitch Dolier of Kaneohe Ranch, and David Carey of Outrigger Hotels. We all have a big black mark in our resume. We were all former attorneys, and it's kind of fun. I think a law degree gives people a wonderful advantage to find different venues to showcase their talents. And people who go into law often use it as a stepping point, a stepping off point for for occupations other than law. And certainly I would encourage that, because that was sort of my path as well.
So when you stepped into the position of CEO, what was the most surprising thing for you?
How much control that a CEO really has. And by the same token, and this may sound kind of contradictory, how little control a CEO has over the affairs of an organization. As a lawyer, often you're trained to do things by yourself. You're in center stage. You're taking the trial. You're interviewing the witness. You're running your own show. However, in an organization where you've got several people, or several hundred people, you can't do every single function. And thus the CEO has to be a leader, a visionary, a guide, rather than a doer.
What do you think are the most important characteristics to lead a successful organization, to be a successful CEO?
It comes down to integrity. It comes down to honesty, without which you could never operate as any kind of leader in government, in the nonprofit sector, or in the for-profit sector. And you just can't operate in this town without being a person of honesty and integrity.
When you first came in as CEO, you came in from outside the company. Was there resistance from inside the company because they didn't promote somebody from within?
Well, I was sort of oblivious to a lot of that, I think. I think the people that hired me knew that there was going to be a gap between my arrival and the previous CEO's departure. So that allowed for some of the turmoil to settle down. I don't think I felt very much of it at all.
What was it like for you stepping into the CEO position?
Coming from government, it was different. You know, coming from a fairly creative entrepreneurial background, it was just a lot of fun. I think that within the first few months of taking office, of sitting down in the chair, I probably applied every single course that I took, undergraduate, law school, business school, non-credit course. I had to rely on every facet of my education and training to be able to run a company.
What was the most creative thing that you've done while at AIG?
Oh, I can't choose. But can I give you a couple?
Give us a few.
Well, in 1998, when we started advertising on television, I don't think anybody really was. And other executives from the insurance industry would walk up to me on the street and say, well, what are you doing? We don't advertise in this business. I did. It was fairly successful, a little thing like that. We've tweaked our product a little bit. We've added new products. In 1993 or 1994, someone came to me and said, I've got $1 million worth of insurance, but I need an insurance company to rewrite the business. Can you do it? And I said, well, yeah, sure, not knowing what that meant. Went back and talked to my people, and they said, yeah, we could redo this. We could program our computers and do all the necessary regulatory filings. Yeah, we can expedite it in 90 days. So I went back and asked that guy, well, yeah, we can expedite it. We do it really quickly. When do you need it done? He said, in 3 weeks. Well, we did it in 3 weeks. And it took a little creative juices and a little bit of effort and finding ways to ask why not rather than why, and we pulled it off. There are a lot of little things like that that we've tweaked at our company that have been fairly creative. Without giving away a lot of trade secrets, we do a lot of things that are quite different from what I see anybody else. If you look at my organization today too, when I started, we were a good but fairly small insurance company. I've over doubled the size. We sold automobile insurance and homeowners insurance. Now we sell about 9 lines of insurance. I've got a operation that manages captive insurance companies. I've got another operation that sells human resources services. I've got another operation that's developing software. Now, if you had asked me when I joined AIG, hey, what about the idea of getting into a software development company? I would have thought these people were nuts, but that's where we are right now.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.